Hey, how are you? Welcome back to this is the final video in the Mortal Kombat 11 Masterclass series. Thank you so much for watching all of these videos if you have. If not, there will be a link to the playlist in the description below. But I kind of wanted to talk about more of a mindset thing for the last video rather than getting straight into another gameplay aspect. So if that sounds interesting to you, then make sure you stick around, like and subscribe, etc., etc. But basically, the main thing that I want to talk about is tilt and rage or salt or whatever you want to call it, right? So the idea of like salt or getting angry or getting tilted is that basically like the whole idea of being tilted is that you actually start to play worse, right? And it becomes this kind of never-ending cycle of playing worse and then doing worse as a result because you get angry. Like you get angry when something bad happens, that makes you tilted. Then more bad things happen because you're not playing as well. Now, tilt is really hard to avoid in fighting games, in any kind of competitive game, really. But especially in Mortal Kombat 11, where there's a lot of different things that can go wrong at any given time. I've noticed a lot of people get really upset at this game, get really toxic, and get really irritated and tilted and salty and all kinds of things. So really, if you want to avoid this kind of tilt, this kind of salt, all that kind of stuff, then what you really want to do is analyze the reasons why you are feeling salty in the first place when you're playing. You really need to kind of see what are the things that are actually making you salty. What about it is making you so irritated? Is it that you're coming in and you think immediately, oh, this guy's just a scrub, he's just mashing the same thing over and over again, he's not really earning this win, I'm being cheated out of it, that kind of thing. And a way that you can address this issue is you want to go into a match with another opponent, with a human being. I understand getting tilted at like towers of time and stuff. In fact, I haven't had an opportunity to play any new matches since the patch that nerfed Shiva. And as a result, you're seeing here just some towers of time matches that I recorded really quickly. But I understand getting tilted at things like that where it's almost like it's just not fair. But if you're going in with another person, think about, kind of try to approach with more of a humble mindset. Think of it less as, I'm better than this guy and the only reason he's winning is because he's using a cheap character, or he's using cheap tactics, or this or that. I mean, in reality, if a person is just spamming the same thing over and over again, typically there's a way to beat it, and if you were better than that person, then you could beat them anyway. So really, if you go in kind of with a humble attitude, thinking, okay, maybe there's potential that this person is equal to or better than me at this game, then when you lose, you're not going to get as angry, you're not going to get as tilted about it. So try approaching matches with a more humble and more positive attitude. And another way that you can kind of celebrate, or that you can kind of cultivate a positive attitude, is by celebrating small victories here and there. So go into matches with a goal in mind. I will get a flawless block punish in this match. I will get a down 2 crushing blow when they throw me in this match. Or they try to throw me. Go in with these little goals of doing things better and improving at the game. And then even if you lose, you can take these small victories away saying, well, I played better than I would have last game. Or I'm learning and I'm getting better as a player. The loss doesn't really matter as much, especially some random loss to a guy you don't even know on Combat League or Casuals or whatever. As long as you're improving at the game and you are getting the skills necessary that next time you'll have a better chance of winning. So celebrate those small victories, cultivate that positive mindset. And the next couple of tips that I have, just to recap those last two, approach things with more of a humble attitude again, and then, you know, make sure you try and stay positive. See the positive things that come out of you losing. Even when you do lose, don't always look at it as a woe is me, this is the worst ever. But some other things that you can do is just have the wisdom, have the self-awareness, I guess, to quit while you're ahead. You're on a 5-game win streak, okay? This has happened to me a bunch of times. I'm on a 5, 6, 7-game win streak. I lose a match. I think, okay, well, I can end now and still be 6-1 or 7-1 or whatever. But then I'm like, but I want to get that streak back. So then I play again, and then I lose again. And I start getting irritated. I lose a third time. I lose a fourth time. I'm losing all of these times because I'm getting more and more aggravated. And by the end of the night, I'm now, struggling just to get a win, and I'm super pissed off. When I could have just been like, well, I just ended 7-1, 8-1, whatever it is, or even 3-1, 4-1, whatever. Make sure you have the wisdom and the ability to just take a step back and quit while you're ahead, okay? Because tilt and salt and all these kinds of things, they're a spiral down into the furiousness of some of these games, getting angry at these games. It really, really can spiral out of control. And so in order to kind of circumvent that or nip that in the bud, just take a second. Think, do I really need to keep playing right now, or can I walk away from this session feeling good about the fact that I won 60% of my matches? That sort of thing. And then the second thing, this really pertains to any ranked mode in any fighting game, but Combat League especially has rewards and other things tied to it. And as a result, people tend to try for the cheapest and easiest ways to win over you, and it can make it so frustrating to play, right? So my suggestion is, if you realize that you are playing Combat League and every time you play Combat League, you're getting so pissed off, so frustrated, so angry, just don't play Combat League. And here's what I'm saying. You might say, well, Drew, then how am I supposed to get these Combat League exclusive skins? Take a step back, analyze it. Is that stupid skin or gear piece worth your mental health? Is it worth you finding less enjoyment in the game just to have an extra skin or an extra gear piece? I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds of skins and gear pieces in this game. You just have to be able to evaluate which one is worth more to you. Your sanity or that freaking Combat League exclusive skin. So, long story short, take a second, analyze yourself, self-reflect, and say, can I just quit now? Should I just stop now while I'm still sane? Or if I consistently get in Combat League and it always pisses me off, even if I try and look at things positively, I've tried those other two approaches of celebrating small victories, of trying to be humble and approaching these matches, but I still get so angry, then guess what? You don't have to play Combat League. I know that's kind of a silly solution sounding, but it's the truth. So really just try to reel yourself in, because I promise the more and more tilted you get, the worse you're going to play, and the worse you play, the more bad things are going to happen, and the more bad things that happen, the more tilted you're going to get, and then the worse you're going to play, and it's just a circle that goes on and on and on until you're ready to pull your hair out. So don't let that trap fall you, or don't let yourself fall into that trap, I should say, and instead just really try to be more positive, be more humble when you go into these games, and just remember that you need to play more games too. The more you play, the less significant a single loss is going to seem to you. So that's kind of a big thing. Make sure you're just playing the game, and if you are getting so frustrated that it's not healthy for you, then take a step back, play something else, or just go watch your favorite show, or go exercise, go get a snack, or whatever. Just take a minute and separate yourself from what just happened, and then come back in fresh, right? All right, well, I hope this found you well. I hope that this series has helped you overall. And if it has, again, make sure you like and subscribe. We've got more fighting game content, more Mortal Kombat content coming out soon. So have a good one. Be blessed.